Welcome to Two Pastors in a Car at Chick-fil-A. And as you've noticed, I've got a different pastor friend with me. This is Pastor Gary. Pastor Andy had to be away. Apparently he doesn't care about this podcast. Well, actually his daughter's getting married, so we'll give him a pass on this.
That's an excused absence.
Yes. It is. So we're delighted to be together. And our topic for today is 5 ways to encourage your church. So think about that. How can you be an encouragement to your church as a whole and with the people in your church individually? So what's our first admonition?
The first one is very basic and simple, and that is to attend church. As things begin to open back up in terms of church services, it might be that you're able to do that. You're not, by age or underlying health issue, you're not prevented from going to church. If you can go in person, certainly go. If you cannot go, then attend church virtually. And listen, we want to encourage you not to just kind of come onto the online meeting almost indiscreetly, but if you can get your image up there, greet others before the service starts. Sometimes there's the chat options. Say hello to a brother or sister. Seek to encourage as opportunity is afforded you through the virtual worship, and do your best. It is tough. It isn't in person, but be determined to engage your heart upon God, even though it's over the internet and on Zoom or Facebook or YouTube.
So the second thing we'd say is just work your way through the directory. We've said this before, but it certainly bears repeating. If you have ways that you can encourage the people around you, so grab your church directory, start praying through it, start making some phone calls. I've been trying to make 3 or 4 phone calls a week, trying to encourage people. I encourage you to do the same. That would be a real helpful way to keep the people in your church encouraged about being together as a church.
That directory thing is great. And then once we're in the midst of that, there's a few people we would encourage you. Think of a few people that you could especially concentrate upon. And there's a circle of people we're especially close to. They might be the natural, or maybe the real challenge would be to reach out to some people who aren't in your inner circle in the church, as it were. A phone call, a card, a text, to stop by, to drop off something that you could share with them, a food item or whatever. Try to think of 2 or 3 people that you could, in greater depth, reach out to and encourage.
The fourth thing we want to say is pray for the mission of the church. Pray that your church is effective at accomplishing the mission God has sent it for. This pandemic obviously didn't catch God by surprise, and He wants to see the church accomplishing what God has for them through this time. So be praying about that. Be praying that God uses you to share the gospel, to live the gospel, to grow in your own spiritual life, that the mission of the church will move forward even though it kind of seems like the rest of life is sort of stalled out. So be in prayer about that. Now this last thing, the last one, like usual, is kind of a game changer. This might be something that at first blush you wouldn't think of, but we really want to suggest that by taking this step, it could be a real encouragement to you and to the church. And so that's our game changer. It's number 5. Gary?
That game changer is to keep giving faithfully to your church, to continue to be determined to give to God what is His and to support your church financially. We know the promises of God, first of all, in that realm. Even though things could be financially challenging, we know that when we're faithful to Him, we're expressing faith in Him. He never leaves that faith unrewarded, and He will meet our needs. But we're trying to send out to our church family updates on giving. And I think that when the family sees that others are remaining faithful, you might think it's not such a big deal, but it could really be heartening to the whole family to see that others are staying faithful to God and trusting Him to meet their needs.
Well, that's it for today. This has been Two Pastors in a Car at Chick-fil-A. And Gary, thanks for being with us.
It was a joy to be here.
All right, God bless you.